Today's motion is family education is better than virtual education. And last time I request to the position team for the motion. First speaker Fahmida Yeasmin Koli.
Thanks to Honorable Speaker for giving me the floor. Today our motion is family education is better than virtual education, and I am saying for the motion. As you can see on our topic, there are two important words in it. The first one is family education and the second one is virtual education. Many of us are having a bad idea about education. We think only academic education is important for our life. Education is more than it. What is family education? Family education is a thing where a children will be taught every upcoming thing, solution and way of his life by his parents. Family education is a parental education. From getting family education, a child can decide any decision of his life, and a child can learn how to talk, how to write, how to walk, and how to communicate. And what is virtual education? Virtual education refers to instruction in a learning environment where teacher and student are separated by time or space or both, and the teacher provides content. So we can clearly say that virtual education is a transformed version of academic education. Virtual platform never will teach how to talk, how to communicate, how to walk, or how to learn. And we don't need more and more unsolicited introverts in our society. Why we are saying family education is better and virtual education is not better? Because first one is virtual platforms have no barricades. The second one is internet connection is not available for all. And third one is disadvantages of virtual education. And the last one is family education is the main foundation of a child. What do we need for a virtual education? We need a communicative technology. And what is a communicative technology? It could be a phone or it could be a television. Honorable Speaker, take a look. I'm a 15-year-old girl, and if I want to, I can switch into any other channel or other website if I try. So who will teach me that I should not switch into another channel or website? My family. And when my family will teach me it will be also a family education. So if I want to be good, if I want to be honest, so there I also need my family. And we can talk about our kids' Facebook. We can activate it with our family's permission. If they are not paying any attention what they're doing in our social media, then it's easy to switch any other website. So how can I use our virtual education? It's also a family education. And who ensures that kids are not saying not allowed things in the name of virtual education? No one can ensure that. And virtual education could be a step, but family education is the first step of a child for his honesty, for his morality. Dear opposition, take an example about our assignment. That if we open our virtual education platform, we can see a lot of answers of our assignment, and these assignment answers are learning our creativity. So my question to the opponent is, don't see these disadvantages of virtual education. Hope they will answer it soon. So my last thing is, virtual education could be a step, but it's not the main step, and family education is better than virtual education. Thanks to Honorable Speaker, thanks to everyone.
Thank you so much, Fahmida Yeasmin Koli. He defined family education is better than virtual education. Now it's time for the opposition against the motion. First speaker Akm Wasif Uzzamam Shuborno. Please go on.
Thanks to the Honorable Speaker for giving me the floor. Today our topic is family education is better than virtual education. Me standing against this topic. Our standpoint is virtual education is obviously better than family education. And here is our parameters are: number one, at this point you can't get to meet your parents. Number two, in this pandemic you must rely on virtual reality. Number three, the world is developing day by day and you mustn't break the chain. And the last one, number four, at this learning age, child has to learn from virtually more than real life. I will describe some of this point, and our second speaker will describe more, and our team leader will combine all. At first I am describing some important words. They are family education, and virtual education. The gathering of father, mother, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, and living together, it calls family. Education is that what we get from our born to death, from school, society, and even in every place. Family education is that education we get from our family, our parents and our relatives. And the last one, virtual education, is that education we get from virtually, from mobile, TV, website, games, etc. And our fourth parameter at the learning age, child has to learn from virtually more than real life. Cartoon plays a very important role in virtual education. Cartoon is very helpful in learning new things. Kids usually find no interesting or funny things by reading, but they can easily get the message by watching. So nowadays schools prefer to teach a kid with video or animations. That's how it gets entertainment, also lessons. Video games and playstations are also used for teaching kids by tutors. So cartoon give us a very good advantage in virtual education. I will suggest you to watch this type of cartoon like Dora the Explorer. Dora the Explorer is a child cartoon, and by watching this cartoon we can learn many alphabets, many words and many English. And also I will suggest you to watch the cartoon commentary gives us the knowledge that in our friendship we have faced many troubles, but at the end we have to stay together for overcoming all the problems. On the other hand, family teaches us that go fight with your friends, go overtake your friends, go compete with your friends, and education in every place. So I will say again and again that virtual education is better than family education.
Thank you so much though, and he defined the virtual education is better than family education. Now we are going the second speaker, position team for the motion. We make mistakes, girls wins. Adwitiya Aich Tuli.
Thanks, honorable speaker, to giving me the floor. Today our debate's topic is family education is better than virtual education. I am the second speaker of the position team. My first speaker defined the topic and I will explain this. And the two things I will focus on the most, that are internet connection is not available for all, and honorable speaker, as the information of World Bank in the report of digital dividends, more than 80% people of Bangladesh is not using internet, so they are getting opportunity of virtual education. So coming to the point, online learning, it may create a illusion. Such illusion can make many mistakes, which may be harmful for learning. Honorable speaker, no doubt that where there is no family education, there is no complete education. Honorable speaker, please have a look. The mobile, laptop, tabs, such electrical instruments are very essential nowadays. Using these instruments and look their position, there is many story about family education, but you can find a little observation appreciated to all. Honorable speaker, in our country more than 80% people are able to the internet, but 99% people living in a family where there is a good family bonding, and at the same time TikTok, liking, YouTube, Facebook is producing many overnight celebrities. If this type of education is expected their opposition, so let's act the family education is better than virtual education. Thanks, honorable speaker, and so on.
Request to you all, please big round of applause for this debater. Please. Now we are going to against the motion opposition team second speaker, and the second speaker is PM Towfiq Ur Rahman, our pride, and he is one of the finest speaker of We Make Mistakes. So PM Towfiq Ur Rahman, second speaker.
Thanks to honorable speaker for giving me the floor. Today's our motion is family education is better than virtual education. I am starting on against the motion. My statement is virtual education is obviously better than family education. A virtual education environment is very happiness and joyful, so children can enjoy it a lot of. In this time, we can see that parents cannot give a lot of time in their children's study, and we can see that sometimes the parents advise the child do the homework, read and write, and then they go to outside for their work, and then children don't do their homework, read and write, because there are no man can see him is he read or isn't. Dear audience and honorable speaker and intelligence opponent, please think about that. If everyday parents do it, how about the children? The children was very bad student. Slowly the children was a bad student. My second point is admitted in coaching. Some of parents admitted their son to coaching. Example for my friends. My friends admitted in 3 coaching and they give him a lot of homework and it's a mental pressure for him. And on the other hand, some of family do only memorize, not creativity. So child lost their creativity. At first I have said virtual education is very helpful, happiness and joyful. Our first speaker says what is virtual education, so I don't talk about this. And our first speakers also said that some good side of education start the early learning of a child. Example for me, when I was a child, I watched Dora the Traveler, Tom and Jerry, Gopal Bhatt, Natpatu, etc. cartoon, and it teach me shape, number, ABC, 1, 2, 3. It develop our English and language development. When we watch English cartoons, then we can listen English, and listening is one of the part of a English skills. It increases our vocabulary. You don't know any vocabulary, you don't know any English. So vocabulary is the best form of English. We want to know vocabulary, and virtual education do it. So in this speech, it surely proves that virtual education is obviously more important and better than family education. After finishing, I have a question to my opponent team. You again and again say it's Virtual education is not important for us, but you know it's not 1999, it's 2022. My question is, how do you adapt with the new generation? Thank you.
Thanks to Towfiq Ur Rahman, really great speech. I again came to the motion team position. Team leader Jannati Siddika Gungun. Please go on.
Thanks to the honorable speaker for giving me the floor. Our today's motion is family education is better than virtual education, and we are standing for the motion. Rafi is the only child of their parents. His parents always stays out for their jobs and never pays attention of him. And his condition was very poor for the virtual life. Now he is attached with cyberbullying, harassment and so on. And honorable speaker, this situation is here for the disconnection with his family. As I say, family is so connected with someone's moral education. Family education is a foundation of a child. It will decide that how they will talk, how they will behave, and every single thing. Children learn socialization, respecting others' opinions from a family. And family is a thing where child grows up. Then, if this family don't teach them what about the world, about the good things, then that child can't be a proper human being in future. Family will always teach you according to your age, but virtual education maybe not, because there is no barricades in virtual education. Opponent second speaker asked me that how do you adopt with the new generation? We are saying that virtual education could be a way, but it can be better than family education. If a family education, the foundation of a child, isn't much well, then a virtual education will distract them so badly. That's what our first speaker said, and it proved that they are not hearing us so carefully. Virtual education also has some disadvantages, like there is so poor feedback in the online classes, it lacks face-to-face communication, children get addicted from that and so on, what our second speaker said. But guess what, there is no disadvantage in family education. Virtual education can just teach you about the academic things, but family education is important for our overall development. Once someone else said that, if you give me an educated mother, I will give you an educated nation. He didn't say that, give him some of the virtual education. The moral of this speech was family education is the main thing of each and everyone's life. However, the practice of different family things vary within a closed society, which is religious places and general philosophy of a living. A study says when parents are involved to children's study, they get better grades, score higher, have better attendance in record, drop out less often, have a great self-confidence and more positive attitudes towards the school. Source for you into 2019. Then honorable speaker, just think of that, how much a family encourages a child's development. We born in a family, we grow up in a family, we are protected by a family. We learn new things from a family and we are so connected and multiple as a family. For a healthy, progressive society, family life education is the source of health and happiness. So virtual education could be a step, but not more than a family education. So that's why after all of this logic, we can say that, and we have to agree with that, family education is obviously better than virtual education. So that was all. Thank you for your speaker. Thank you.
Really great speech, Jannati Siddika Gungun, and she established their points. Now it's time for listening and watching. The opposition team leader against the motion, Shuborno, Shahrear, Borno, and the motion is family education is better than virtual education.
Thanks to the honorable speaker for giving me the floor. And today's topic of the debate is that family education is better than virtual education. As you know that our standpoint is virtual education is obviously better than family education. And you know that is 2022, not the 1999, as our second speaker said, that we are not in the backstreet and we are developing day by day. Bangladesh is also developing day by day. We don't need the internet connection anymore because the government, Bangladesh government is taking a step by establishing the computer lab in every school in this Bangladesh country. So the Bangladesh is also developing day by day, and we must rely on the virtual reality, not the So at this point you can't get to meet your parent when this is corona pandemic time. And think about the situation that when you are affected with COVID-19, you can't get out of your room for 14 days of quarantine. So when you are stuck in your room for 14 days of quarantine, you can't get to meet your parent and you can't even get the family education. You need to rely on your mobile phone. Because mobile phone, if you have your mobile phone in your hand, you have the whole world in your hand also. At this point, the learning age, children love to copy what he sees in his learning age. Because when the children sees what he knows that his father is beating his mother, he will also do that to his wife, and this will affect our society, and this will affect also me and you like your student. And you know, the third speaker of our opponent team said that give me an educated mother, I will give you an educated nation. It's the thing that we said already that we are not living in the 1999. You know that there wasn't any such thing named as virtual reality when the Napoleon Bonaparte said that, and we are living in the 22 because the world is developing and not going back. And you know that at the certain age, when the mother and father need to get more money, they need to work more to get more money, and they work for 8 to 10 hours a day to get more money. And when they need to work for 10 hours, so yeah, that is proof that virtual education is obviously better than family education. And thanks to all.
Thanks to Shuborno Shahrear Borno, I request to our honorable EONO and the founder We Make Mistakes, Mr. Yeasmin Koli sir, for evaluate this debate. Please sir.
Can you hear me from the back? Just please make sure that you are listening to me from the back. Clear? Great. Last couple of minutes, we were enjoying a very fruitful and I should say delicious debate. They have proved that you can debate about anything and everything. They debated on a topic that family education is better than virtual education. Actually, these two concepts, they're very different two concepts, have been juxtaposed, brought together in one place, and has been made as a topic of debate. So actually, the two topics are very much different. What is family education? So you have to define family education, and you have to define what virtual education is. So they both can have their poles or definitions and their ways to go into. Overall, they have done a very tremendous job. I should salute them, because maybe for the first time they are debating on a very rare topic and in English. So heartfelt congratulations on my part, that I am very much impressed about what they have done today and for their progress in speaking English. And that is our main goal of We Make Mistakes. That whatever capacity you have, you should not be afraid of. You should go on with your capacity. Whatever skill you have to use it, right? Program ambassador.